162 games is a long season, but it's hard not to go crazy over the first week of games, good or bad. After spending all off-season waiting for opening day, there's no worse feeling than watching your favorite team or player struggle out the gate. There are some players around the league who have established themselves as quality big leaguers, but in the early going are off to horrendous starts to the season. Are these just blips, a cold streak, or are these struggles that could continue on throughout the season? These 7 MLB stars were off to concerning slow starts this season. During his time with the New York Yankees and Chicago White Sox, right-handed reliever David Robertson was one of the more reliable arms out of the bullpen. Well, now that he's switched leagues, the magic may be gone. In 3 relief appearances, Robertson has tallied only a pair of innings, where he's allowed 4 runs on 5 hits, 5 walks and just 1 strikeout. He hasn't been the dependable back-end arm the Phillies had hoped for, and could be at risk of losing the closer role in Gabe Kapler's bullpen. It wasn't that long ago Chris Davis was one of the best home run hitters in all of baseball. Fast forward to 2019 and he's an absolute zero at the plate. Literally. In 6 games this season, Davis has gone hitless in 17 at-bats while racking up 11 strikeouts. Even for a rebuilding team like Baltimore, I don't know how long of a leash he should have. What's arguably even more concerning is that the 33-year-old is due to make more than $21 million per year and is under contract until the end of the 2022 campaign. Philadelphia Phillies ace Aaron Nola was in the Cy Young race for much of the 2018 season, but he hasn't carried that pinpoint control into 2019. In a pair of starts, Nola has allowed 7 earned runs on 7 hits and a whopping 7 walks in 9 innings of work. He didn't even average 2 walks per game in 33 starts last year, but through both appearances, he's averaging 3.5 free passes per start. While the Phillies' offense is rolling, the team's pitching is a bit of a concern thus far. Brandon Nimmo burst onto the scene last year and became one of the bright spots atop of the New York Mets lineup. They were hoping that was just the beginning of something special, but he hasn't delivered in the early going, slashing .087, .276, .087 with 0 extra base hits, 1 RBI and an MLB leading 14 strikeouts. That's not what you want out of your leadoff hitter, especially someone who was supposed to be a key offensive asset this year. Is it time to panic about Chris Sale? It's just 2 starts, right? It wouldn't surprise anyone if he immediately reverted back to his dominant self, but in 9 innings, he's allowed 8 earned runs on 9 hits, 4 home runs, 4 walks and just 5 strikeouts. That's not the Chris Sale we've grown accustomed to seeing on the mound, and with a drop in velocity, you have to wonder if he'll ever get back to throwing in the upper 90s, or injuries finally catching up to Miguel Cabrera, one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time. In 8 games, 27 at-bats, the former Triple Crown winner is slashing a woeful .148, .303, .148 with 0 extra base hits, 1 RBI and 9 strikeouts. The 35-year-old is definitely on the back end of his career, but one thing you thought he could always do is hit. Well, that's not the case in the early going of 2019. There might not be a pitcher in baseball who has better pure stuff than Yu Darvish. However, the Japanese star has been one of the least effective pitchers in baseball ever since he put on a Chicago Cubs uniform. In his pair of starts this year, Darvish has completed just 6.2 innings and allowed 6 runs on 7 hits, 11 walks and 6 strikeouts. I'd say the Cubs regret signing Darvish to that 6-year, $126 million deal last offseason, as he's been abysmal since putting pen to paper.